Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you to do some random ephemera for the Beloved Beauty Journal. We're going to do a couple of hidden journaling spots. I've done these on my channel before, but I'm going to do them a little bit differently. And as you can see, we've got some Victorian lady kind of themed paper here. That's because the journal is an antique romance slash Victorian type of thing. I'll just straighten my camera, that drives me crazy. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to use these embossing folders. I think they're a 3D embossing folder. These are from Sizzix, and so one is this beautiful rose image, and then the other one is just a whole bunch of roses. It's kind of hard to see like that. So I already did a sample using this one, and so we're going to do this on camera. What I did is I embossed it, and then I came over it with some Vintage Photo Archival Ink and then some Distress ink to create some pink, and I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to do that with both of these embossing 3D embossing folders. So let's start with that because I think it's fairly easy. My big shot is here off camera. Unfortunately, I cannot get it on camera for you, but I'll show you how I'm going to. So the sandwich is supposed to have, in the big shot, is supposed to have the plate on the bottom, then the 3D embossing folder, I believe, and then another plate. It doesn't work. So I'm just using one plate on the bottom and then putting the embossing folder on top. So I've already cut these pieces to fit, and I'm going to find the raised part here, which is this side, and I'm going to put the white side down because I want that to be white, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the embossing folder, and then I'm going to go ahead and run this through my machine really quick. And again, I apologize, you guys will not be able to see this, but it'll just take me a quick second. Kind of got my body in shot there. It goes pretty easily, so we'll do both of these and I'll show you the technique that I used. So, oh, that was backwards. Darn. That one is backwards, so I did that wrong. So let me try again. So I guess the white side goes up. So yeah, that was weird. I thought I had ironed all of that confusion out, but clearly I did not. So, oh, that's the wrong one too. Let's go ahead and I'll cut another piece of paper. Goodness gracious. There we go. It doesn't take a lot of pressure to get the effect. So this is what I wanted. So I've got the raised areas here, and so we've got one down. So let me grab another piece of paper really quick. See if I've got another one that's white on the back. I do. So let me just cut this down really quickly. Sorry about that, guys. Silly me. I don't do backwards very well, so hence the confusion. I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm trying to get some videos ready because we will be gone on a fishing trip for about 5 days at the end of May. So I want to have some content already ready and scheduled on the channel for you guys. So that's why I'm kind of working double time here. So we've got our mass roses, and then I do notice that we've got some marks, I think, where it cut through, but that is all right. So we need to do this one again. And so again, I'm finding the rough part that's on the inside, and I'm going to put white side down. I believe that's what I just did. No sweat, right? No biggie. Just standing up, it's a little bit easier to do that. Okay, so here is the second one. That's what we wanted. I'm going to show you a close-up here really quick. I will be sure to link those in 3D embossing folders for you. So this is the one. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's really gorgeous. We do have some tears on it, but this is going to be backed onto some paper to make a journaling card, so I'm not concerned about it. And then that one, really beautiful. So let's get to ink in here. So I started, as I mentioned, I started with the Vintage Photo Archival Ink. And I'm using the makeup brushes for this technique because I like that domed that domed bit helps do this well. So let me scooch in a little bit closer. There we go. So I'm just going to ink it up, and I'm using a very light hand here, guys. Really light hand. So I'm just skimming it over the surface. I can go over it again if I want some places darker. But I love how vintagey this looked, because this is definitely a vintage journal. So I love the effect that we're getting here. Just like so. Also trying to crank out the ephemera because I've got so many projects going on right now that I need to get focused here. Not that I've not been focused on things that were important to be focusing on with my sister and my family, but the channel and the studio has taken a hit on that. So there we go. So there is that. I'm going to go ahead and do the vintage photo on this one as well before we go on. So I'm going to start at the big flower down here at the bottom. I just realized I had these in my stash and I had not used them yet, and I thought, wow, using the embossing folders is super cool and a really great technique, and one that I think a lot of us forget about when we're creating. They're somewhere else, not necessarily where we look at them. So just going to go over that again just to get some dark bits, some of the higher points a little bit more inked. And I'm not concerned that I've got some brown elsewhere, so you can see we've got brown that is outside of that those lines, but that's okay with me. There we go, get that little bit in there. Okay, so now we're going to go in with some color, so I'm going to set that aside. And I think this one I'm going to go in with the, this is Distress Ink in Picked Raspberry, and that's the color that I used in my sample. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just going to ink this up. And again, going very lightly. I'm not going everywhere. I just want it to be where the flower centers are, if I can at all help that. Super, super easy, you guys. Look at that. I mean, that could not be easier or more beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeousness. Yay. Okay, there we go. Forgive my dry hands. I didn't put any lotion on this morning. So let's go ahead and try. The other one that I got out was the Aged Mahogany. It's a little bit of a darker pink, as you can see on my sponge. It's more of a burgundy. So I'm going to do the same here. And get some ink on there, and I'm just going to go over the rose here. Oh, beautiful. I don't care if it's getting on the leaves, because we know the leaves wouldn't be burgundy, but that's okay. Just going to do that. I don't want to overdo it because I tend to do that a lot, and then I end up being sorry for that. So just going to go over that one more time, and there we go. Super, super easy. Going to make a beautiful journal card. So that is done. Easy as that. So I'm going to set these aside, and then we're going to go ahead and do our hidden journaling spots. Oh, I did want to go ahead and ink around these. We may as well do that while we've got the stuff out here. So I'm going to just go ahead and go around, and then I will back these on some other card to create some journal cards, but you guys know how to do that. I didn't feel like it was necessary to do on camera. Probably not the inking either. There we go. May as well do all three of these since I've got them out. Got the ink out. I don't think I'll use all three of them in the journal. It might be a little too much. It is Sunday, kind of a quiet day. Still not feeling great, but I can't lay around all the time because my body gets sore and I've been sleeping and resting a lot. So it's good to get in the studio and get some things done. So sorry about my phone buzzing there. There we go. Give me just a quick second. Okay, so now we're going to go to part 2 here, or the second bit of ephemera. So we're also going to be using the Big Shot, but I'm going to switch it back to the platform it needs to be on because it's just a die. So I'm just going to go ahead and just get that ready so that when I'm ready to run it through, I can just do it. Where's my other plate? Goodness gracious, hold on. There it is. Okay, so we're ready with that. So the way these work is it's a whole card to start with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut a portion off of the top. And I'm going to do that. I'm trying to think about how I do this so that it still stays hidden. I didn't think that through very well. I don't know if I just need to run this whole thing through like that. I think so, is just put my die on there and then run it through. So let me get a piece of washi tape here really quick, and I'm just going to try to line this up so that the scallops kind of are even on both sides of this, and it looks to be pretty even as best I can tell. You know what, I'm going to get my little mat out. Hold on. Got this little 12 by 12 mat that's useful, so I can just set it on here. I don't have to have it on here all the time. So there we go. So now we know that we're even. And then if I use the other line, like I think I want to go about there. That might be too far. How about there? Like 1 1/4 inches. And then I'm just going to scooch that over so it's even. I'm going to grab a piece of washi tape to secure that. Hopefully that will not stick to my paper. Sometimes it does, and that's a bad surprise. So I think I can release that for a second. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the other one taped up too so that we can do both at the same time. They're going to be very, very similar. I'm going to use a different die on the second one though. Whoops. Goodness. I've got this die for this one. Thought it would be pretty. So again, we're going to just line this up, and I'm going to put this right here. And again, I think I'm going to go about 1 1/4 inch, and I'm going to scooch this over so that I am moderately straight side to side. My son-in-law is so sweet, he just stopped by and dropped off some home COVID tests because I can't go back to work if I don't test, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be ready for work tomorrow. We'll see. I hope so though. Okay, there we go. So let me get rid of that mat, hang it back up, and let's go ahead and run these through the die cut machine, and I will be back with you here in a quick moment. Okay, success. So let's see what this looks like. I'm going to try to gently take that tape off and show you how this works. So we got a little bit of a tape line there, but it's not going to be a problem. Must have been some pretty strong adhesive. Ooh, that was interesting. That is not what I wanted. What the heck happened? It cut out the middle of her face. Oh my goodness, that's not gonna work. Oh my goodness, let me set that aside. I've got another one over here. I might do that off camera and just show you at the end. I'm gonna just show you this sample because what it did is it cut this out, which is her face. I wonder if I could put it back on. Hold on. Don't give up, Renee. Don't give up. Let's see what we can do with this. I forgot, I didn't see this sitting on the table. This is the part that it actually cut off. So let's see. So if we stick that back on there, oh, it looks weird though because it went through her eyes. No, that's not going to work. Okay, I wonder if I have another one of those dies. I'll have to look, but I'll put that in the. I'll take some photos and show you at the end. So we can just go with this one. This one worked out beautifully because it's just gonna go right back on there. Like so. So the next step to this process is we're going to go ahead and, it's been a while since I've done these. I couldn't remember if I if I was supposed to glue this all on here first. I think I was, but that's okay. So what you do is you cut a piece of paper the exact same size as your base prior to doing the cutting or the die cutting in this case. So that's what I've done here. I'm going to go ahead and glue this really quick. I'm going to use my Bearly Arts today just because I feel like it. And I'm just going to glue it on. I did already print on the back of these, but it's not a big deal. I never know if I'm going to need to use have the back be visible or not. Come on. There we go. So we're just going to get this on here straight-ish. I think I was supposed to do that. Doggone it. This just did not work well, guys. Nope, that doesn't work. I'm going to have to start over here, guys. So I will be right back. Let me prep the stuff again. Sorry about that, guys. That was just a complete brain fart because I know how to do these. So you do cut the top off before you glue the paper on, but what I did wrong in the other one is I glued the entire panel down to the base, and that is incorrect. So I went ahead and I just used 2 different size dies. So they're the same design but a different size. So that should work out just fine. So what I'm going to do before I get kind of off my rocker again is I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of this before we go any further. I'm not going to ink that edge because I want it to look secretive. And if I put a dark line there, you're going to be able to tell that it's separated. That will make more sense here in a moment. The same with this edge. I am not going to ink that edge. If you wanted it to be visible, you would just go ahead and ink that as normal. So we've got that. So let's go ahead and ink all of these bits. I will be back with you in a moment. Okay, we're coming to the end of the inking. I will show you that I did select a different paper because I needed to use something that was already on my desk. So my camera is crooked. There we go. So those are all inked up and ready to go. So let me show you how this actually works correctly. So what you do is you're just only going to glue this paper down on the 3 sides. So because the tuck is going to go in here. So, or the tuck spot is going to go there, the hidden journaling bit. So we're going to go ahead and put glue, and I'm going to grab my art glitter glue because that Bearly Arts was barely coming out. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit here. Hopefully this is going to behave for me today. So again, just the 3 sides. We want the top opened. And again, that will make more sense here as we move along. So, I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. You can do these any size you choose. I was thinking about maybe off camera doing some little ones and kind of making a hidden journaling spot / tuck out of some smaller cards to put throughout the journal as well. I love hidden journaling spots, so that is right up my alley. So while that is getting dried, what we're going to do here is we're going to glue this on the top of this so that when it goes into this slot, it's going to all line up. So that's why this piece is, in case with all the brokenness, I'm sorry, in case I didn't tell you, you cut this one a lot smaller because I tend to find that it gets stuck if it's too long. It doesn't want to glide in there very well, and you'd want it to be narrower, obviously, to allow for the glue on the sides. So I'm just going to try to, it looks pretty darn even there. So let me make a pencil line here really quick with my pencil, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this on like so. And then we will also need a piece to go on the back, I believe. I always forget that piece, so I'm wondering if I can use what was broken in the other one. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I threw it in the garbage, so why can't I find it? That's kind of strange. It disappeared. I'll figure it out here in a moment. So, so basically I'm going to apply glue on between these borders here, the pencil lines that I just created. I mean, I suppose you don't really have to put a back piece. I just always have when I make these. So we'll take a peek at it and see if it looks like it's needed. It could be square. It doesn't have to be a scalloped edge because it's going to be on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to line this up to that line. I'm going to line it all the way up to the top as well, making sure it's nice and even, and then just give it a good press there. And so there we've got our topper, and yeah, so then it slides in here like this, lickety split. It always has a hard time that very first time because it's just trying to get used to it, but look at that. Seamless. Like if you look really close, you can see our lines from the die cut, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So let's take that back out, and I'm just trying to evaluate. I do think I want something across that, but I don't necessarily want to cut another piece. I suppose I could just cut another piece to go over that from the paper, but let's just see what we can do here. I don't like that. I want it to look like it belongs. So, but I don't. I'm going to give that some thought, guys. Typically, I would have cut 2 pieces of this. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, third time's a charm, right? So I did do both of these at the same time. I cut an extra scallop piece for each of those, so because my other ones were too short, that was just silliness. So what I'm going to do is I'll have to trim this off the top because I need to be able to line this up perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue. Let me make my glue lines. Oh, this is so hard. When you mess up, it's hard to rectify sometimes. So, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put glue all across this and just call it good. I promise these are actually much easier than I am making them. Much easier. I've done these a lot. Maybe it's because my head hurts. I know I'm foggy. My throat hurts. Okay, so that should be good. We can trim it off here in a moment. Both of these are the same, so, or they're both backed rather. So I'm just going to try to line that up both sides, give it a good press, and we can trim off the top and the bottom, the sides rather. So let me do that really quick. Easy fix, just kind of hard to get my mind around currently. Again, if you didn't really mind the look on the back, you wouldn't have to do that, but I like that finished look. Come on, Renee, you're cutting through all the layers. Okay. We're not going to decorate these per se on camera. I just really wanted to show you the technique. And so, so this is the part that slides in and out. We've got a journaling space on the front, journaling space on the back. And we just slide that back in there. Again, it's tricky. I often will just slide my metal ruler in there. Let me do that really quick because sometimes it just needs a little bit of loosening, like so. There we go. I'm going to get that in there. I do recommend using a heavier weight paper. This is digital printed on 65-pound paper. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty flimsy for you. So there we go. There is our hidden journaling spot. I've got a little bit of an edge here. I'm going to just trim a bit. And I will decorate this off camera and show you in the pictures at the end. So there we go. You pull her out, journal on her, and you're good. So here is the second one. different image than we were working with originally, but that's all right. And this is not backed. I think I want that yellow to show though when it's when the card is not in there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it on that side like so. So again, we're going to glue on 3 sides of the image piece, your main piece. I think a nap is in order after I do this. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get that lined up as well, again on the big base piece. And if you want to see other videos that I've done, I'll try to remember to link them in the video description box. I love that yellow lace paper with this image because it's got a lot of really soft yellow. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same here. We're going to go ahead and glue this on. I'm going to turn it over so that I can moderately get this straight side to side. I have a pretty good eye for that, generally speaking. I'm just going to make a pencil line. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that. This is not, I thought I had one that was backed. So let me ink this really quick. I don't want it to be completely white. I didn't, because I had the camera rolling, I couldn't just print something else, so I have to kind of go with what I had on my desk. Here we go. So we're going to glue this on by just putting glue between those, remove that, between those lines that I created for the glue. Like so. I'm going to go ahead and just do this. I want it this way because I want the back of the journal, the back of this journaling card to not be the one that you see first off. So I'm just going to line that up again and give it a press like so. And there we go. She is beautiful. So here's our other piece, which I will also have to cut down, as I mentioned. So just lining up that. I'm going to do the same, not going to be as precise. Do you want the glue to go all the way to the edge, these pieces that are hanging out, so that everything is nice and secure, like so. Yeah, there we go. This one is crooked, so the top edge is crooked, so I'm going to be very careful about how I put this down to make sure that everything is nice and straight. Looks good. Give that a press and we can trim it off. This is not what I prefer. I don't really care for the white, but in this case it's going to have to do because I made the boo-boo and I did not do it correctly. Even if it's something I've done before, my brain just, I need to refresh my brain, I guess, is what I'm saying, before I sit down and turn the camera on. But you know, I'm showing you the raw footage, guys. That's what you guys like. So we're going to slide this in as well. Let me use my ruler and loosen that up a little bit. And you could certainly experiment with going longer. So see how short that is. I could have definitely gone longer. I think that maybe I ran out of that paper, would be my suspicion, and only had a shorter length. So let's just line her up in here again. Come on. And there she is. If you look closely, obviously you can see that there's a cut line, but it looks pretty darn cool. You can see it on her forehead especially, but I love it. So I hope you guys give it a try again. If you want to see the other videos that I've done doing hidden journaling spots, I will link that in the description box. So again, here's what we did today. We've got 2 hidden journaling spots, and because of our sample, we also have 3 of these beautiful bases for journal cards. So thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.